What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a hoot and a holler. A true banger, if you will. A story talking about the time that I tried to get my 22-year-old virgin friend Bill laid. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because he was from the Pesticide Pack video and quite a few other past content videos. I don't know why I said content. I'm stoned, dude. But either way, I just had to preface that, say that first and foremost. This is going to be a banger. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoy it. Drop a like if you do. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. Link is at the top of the description. Get me to 17K. I'll give you top. Thank you. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. So, this happened back at the end of September of last year. And there was a girl who we're going to call Sally, who was a subscriber of mine, a viewer, and a little small-time Instagram model on the side, you know? Like, not like big league. Like, she had, like, a little following, you know? But, like, one of those chicks who takes the nice pictures and, like, sets up the camera with the timer and the bikini in Hawaii. One of those kind of chicks, you know? One of the girls who probably shouldn't be in my DMs. Like, I'm a nerd, crackhead, fat idiot. She's, like, sunbathing in Hawaii, all right? But somehow, the stars aligned, all right? So she's in my DM. We're talking for a little bit. And she lives pretty much across the country, right? I'm not going to say exactly where she lives, but she lives pretty much across the country, right? And she's like, oh, I might be coming to Chicago soon. We should hang out, right? Flirting had already been done. You know, it was established like, hey, we got to meet up, you know? So I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. We're kind of talking a little more, and it comes about that she's actually coming to Chicago way sooner than either of us thought. She's like, hey, I'm actually coming in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to be staying with a friend of mine. She goes to, she goes to school in the city, and then, you know, her and I can come hang out, right? If that's cool, like if you don't mind her coming along, or, you know, like you can just come pick me up from her place or some shit, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, you could bring your friend along, no problem. And in my head, first thing going through my mind is like, which homie am I calling about this? You know, like, listen, does Kevin deserve this one? Does Sam? Does Bill? There's so many options. So I'm like, that sounds awesome. Hey, couldn't be better. We're talking about a little more. She's like, yeah, I'm probably going to book my flight soon. Me being a nice guy and me trying to secure the bag here. Because listen, maybe she was just trying to do my coke. But if I played my cards right, maybe she wasn't just trying to do my coke. So, lo and behold, I offer to throw for her flight. And by throw for, I mean pay for it, the entire thing. She's like, no, like, you don't have to do that. You know, hey, what the fuck is she going to say? Yes. You know, of course, the only acceptable response, oh, you don't have to do that. Hey, of course I had to do that. So I did that. I had to secure the bag, all right? It was a pretty cheap flight, honestly. Like, it really wasn't expensive. Like, you guys are probably like, Goblin, it was like $500. Dude, no, it was a pretty cheap flight. So, not the craziest thing in the world. But, hey, an airplane, nevertheless. An aerospace vehicle. What's the term? What's the smart guy term for an airplane? I don't know. Aerospace transportation method. I don't fucking know. Either way. So, I get her on the aerospace transportation method, right? I book her flight and everything. And she's like, oh, thank you. You know, I'll fine and dandy. Hey. Flirting already be done. Hey, bag secured. I'm a gentleman. What can I say, dude? Tip my hat, m'lady. That's all I got to say. So, now it's set in stone. And I'm like, well, I just paid for her flight. So, when she goes to meet her friend, she's definitely going to know what's up. Like, listen, imagine being her friend. Going into this, your friend flies in and she's like, hey, I'm going to meet this YouTuber. He does a lot of drugs. We're going to do coke and he paid for my flight. That chick is going to come along knowing that bare minimum, it's going down, all right? It's going crazy tonight, all right? That chick knew what was going on, all right? So I'm like, all right, well, it sounds like this could be a good little thing, you know, and her friend was single and everything, so, hey, it could be a nice time. So I call up Kevin. I'm like, Kevin, man, I explained to him the whole situation. He's like, yeah, man, I'd love to come along and link for that. But we still didn't have a spot to link up at, right? I forgot to mention, like, weeks had passed. This is right before they land, right? Like, this is literally the day of the flight. I'm making all these plans. I'm calling Kevin. I'm calling people trying to find a spot that we can all hang out at. And eventually, I call up my buddy, Sean. Now, Sean is a classic. He is a character who is from the Coke Chronicles series. He's the guy who has the apartment that technically his mom lives in, but his mom's never home, so he used to go there all the time and do blow. And there was, like, a camera in there, and his mom would yell at us through the camera. Dude, it was hilarious. But either way, so I call up Sean, and I'm like, yo, brother, what you on today, man? You got work? What are your plans? And Sean was a guy, he had a girlfriend, but if you ever mentioned any scenario with girls, he's down. Like, it didn't matter. He wasn't, like, cheating, but he loved being around women, dude. He lived, like, he thrived around women, dude. It was so funny. So if I ever brought up girls coming over, instantly, he's just, yeah, dude, no matter what I could literally say, dude, let's just kick your door down. The girls are coming, dude. They would love to see you kick your door in. He'd be like, man, no problem, dude. I got an extra doorknob in the closet, bro. Just kick that shit down. So, obviously, Sean is down as fuck. And I'm like, dope, dude. We got a spot. Kevin's coming. We got to hit up some more people. So, I'm going through my contacts, and I get to Bill. And Bill had completely slipped my mind. I'm like, oh, my God. Bill is still a virgin. Bill is 22, and he's a virgin. And this girl, Sally, is bringing her friend. So, I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, all right, well, I hit up Bill, and I'm like, hey, dude. So I've got this girl I've been talking to who's coming out. She's bringing a friend. It could be a potential, a little double date kind of thing, you talk to her friend, maybe it's some chemistry, and it could go well, right? I kind of pitch it to him. He's like, man, oh, she's going to love me, He's talking big. Mind you, all right, so the scoop on this guy, 22-year-old virgin, smokes and sells mid, a lot of it, right? But he's, like, not an ugly guy, really, and he's not, like, fat either. Nobody really understands why he's a virgin at this point. Like, no, it's confusing. Drives a BMW, like, he's not, like, a fucking bum. So it confuses everybody that he's still a virgin. We're like, what is going on, dude? So he's talking himself up. He's like, man, they're gonna love me, man. And listen, his only alleged interaction with a woman, we always would ask him on updates on this throughout, like, even high school and after we graduated. Allegedly, he got head one time in freshman year. But it was one of those, like, oh, she goes to a different school, you wouldn't know her, and she sucked my dick at that school, you wouldn't know the school, kind of things, like it was one of those things where nobody has any verifiable information on this whatsoever. So, like, we are pretty sure this event never happened, right? So either way, I hit up Bill, and I'm like, dude, perfect scenario for you, man. You could have a real chance at a real pretty lady here. He's like, oh, hell yeah, man. They're going to love me, man. I could show them the car, man. They're going to love it, right? Talking himself up. So I'm like, hey, Bill's game, dude. Bill's game. I tell Kevin, and Kevin's like, all right, well, if her friend's pretty, me and Bill are going to have to battle about it, all right? Me and Bill are going to have to battle about it. And I kind of plead with Kevin. I'm like, dude, Bill's literally never gotten laid, dude. Do him a solid. And Kevin's like, yeah, but dude, at this point, he's got to be choosing it. So I'm not going to let him ruin it for everyone. I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I guess, like, Kevin's like, hey, if she's pretty, we talk. Hey, it could go good, right? So I'm like, that's the spirit, but we'll see. So finally, Sally lands, goes to her friend, hits me up. She's like, hey, let me know where we should Uber to, if you're going to come pick me up or what, and we can come out there, right? Because she lands, goes to her friend. Her friend is like 45 minutes away from where I'm at, right? So I give her the address. She Ubers, right? The Uber's like an hour ride. So while she Ubers, we go to the liquor store, right? I go pick up Kevin. We go to the liquor store. We grab some Ciroc. They requested Ciroc Black Cherry, I think it was. It was like a black bottle, like black raspberry or something. Some sort of berry flavor. They requested that, and then there was another bottle of Ciroc we got, right? So we got 2 bottles of Ciroc. Sean had some beer at the crib. Bill was on the way. Everything was looking like it was starting to really come together, right? There was more people that were coming throughout the night. We had a real kind of nice function getting set up, right? We were all kind of hyped, looking forward to the night, right? We go to the liquor store, go over to Sean's house, knock on the door, dap him up. What up, buddy, And before the ladies and everyone else gets there, we kind of take our time, have our little smoke sesh, chill moment, just the lads, just the homies, before a lot of people get here. Bill comes in, joins us on the sesh, right? Just the 4 lads, smoking some blunts in the living room, playing some zombies. Just a nice, chill evening, right? We would always literally just take turns passing the controllers around playing zombies because Sean only had 2 controllers. So we just pass the controllers around, smoke blunts in his living room, and play zombies. Just the classic chill environment, right? It was always a good time. So eventually, Sally hits me up, and she's like, hey, we're here, right? And I'm like, oh, shit. So I go outside. I'm looking around, and I see them. They got dropped off on the wrong side of the apartment complex, right? So I had to kind of come greet them. I give Sally a little hug. I say hey to her friend, hey. Hey, it's all fine and dandy. You know, I got my hug, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, my goal was achieved. Hey, just kidding. Either way, so I hug her. You know, I kind of introduce myself to her friend. You know, say, what's up? My name's yada yada, you know. Bring them inside, right? Now, I sit down and Kevin is to my right. Sally sits down across the table from me on the floor, like her back to the TV, right? And then Sally's friend, who we're going to call, the thing is, I don't even remember her real name. So, like, the fake name could be real, but there's a slim chance. So we're just going to call her Emma. Emma also has a seat, right? And then the festivities begin. Now, Emma was one of those people who did not really look at all like her friend, right? She did not look at all like Sally, right? They didn't even look like they had similar interests. It was like, what on earth? Sally's in this super Instagram model outfit, you know, nice little kind of designs and stuff, you know, very pretty outfit, lots of accessories and stuff. And then you've got Emma, who had, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember if it was her shirt or what, but it was something that gave away that she was extremely liberal, right? And Kevin is the opposite of that, right? I have no political opinion. I don't fucking care about politics, but Kevin is a little opposite of that. He doesn't like the extremist, very extreme, kind of liberal views. He's much more conservative in his views, right? As soon as he saw the shirt she was wearing, that I don't remember exactly what it said, but dude, as soon as you read that shirt, the first thing that ran through your mind was oh shit, she voted for Hillary and shit, you know? Literally the first thing that runs through your mind is just you look at her shirt and you're just oh fuck, gun control. So I understood immediately. And Kevin does one of the funniest fucking things ever. As soon as he looks over, I look over at Kevin. He's got this smirk on his face. And he just blurts out, he goes, you know, Trump's doing a great fucking job lately. And I look over at Kevin. I'm like, what the fuck? And there's just this super awkward moment where Emma's glaring at him. Kevin is trying hard not to laugh. He's got this dirty fucking smile, cheek just ear to ear on his face. And he looks over at Sean. And he's like, Sean, isn't that right, bro? And Sean, if he's not listening to anything, if you call him and be like, yo, isn't that right? He'll always be like, hell yeah, bro. In a super hype way. It's I don't know. Just no matter what topic it's about, if he's not listening and you say, isn't that right to him, he's lit. It's fuck yeah. And of course, Sean's not listening and Kevin knows this. So he says this and Sean's like, oh, hell fucking yeah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. We're off to a weird start already. Mind you, we haven't even gotten to what Bill was doing yet. Bill had not even introduced himself. Every other person in this room right now, aka me, Sean, and Kevin, all introduced ourselves to both of the ladies, you know, greeted them, offered them drinks, you know, got them all situated, trying to be kind. Bill literally tipped his Jimmy John's hat. He literally tipped his Jimmy John's hat. Didn't even say a word. Did not introduce himself. Did not try to engage in conversation. Emma is sitting with her back to him, and he's in a recliner behind Emma, just sitting on his phone the whole time. And after Kevin said that, I look over to Bill, and I notice him like this. I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta get over there, right? So we're kind of chilling, continuing the conversation. We're rolling up some blunts, getting some Ciroc going around, some shots flowing. It's all fine and dandy, right? And, you know, after everyone's kind of gotten up, moved around the room a little bit, I get over to Bill and I'm like, yo, dude, what are you doing? You haven't said anything to this chick, dude. Hey, she's a pretty cute girl, bro. I think you could make something happen. You know, she's pretty, dude. Cause listen, she was a good looking girl, you know, she wasn't an Instagram model, but she was a cute girl, dude. Bill definitely tweaked hard, 100%. And I think, another one of my friends there ended up hooking up with her. I heard because this was I wasn't sitting there watching, but I heard it got pretty hectic later in the weekend because they stayed for a whole weekend, right? So either way, I'm like, Bill, bro, you got to do something, bro. You got to say something. He's like, oh man, what do you mean? I introduced myself. I said my name. I just look at him and I'm like, dude. I don't get it. What is going on? It's Bill gets around women and he just shuts off. It's he's lagging, bro. It's crazy. And I was trying so hard. I'm just like, Bill, dude, get out there, introduce yourself. I'll even wingman you, dude. And I'm trying so hard. I'm talking to Emma, trying to talk about Bill and stuff. I'm like, oh, I know. Man, I'm talking about my car, and I'm like, oh, Bill's car is nicer, though. I'm really trying hard to get Bill laid here because our whole friend group collectively has been trying to get Bill some action for years, dude. Years. Like, this has been an ongoing thing. There was one year where I'm pretty sure we tried to pay a girl in our friend group to sleep with him for his birthday, and she said yes, and then, like, she backed out or some shit. I wasn't a part of throwing for the money, but I know this was a thing. I know for a fact this was a thing for Bill's birthday. But it didn't, it fell through, of course. So, either way, we're just like, dude, holy shit. Like, Bill, like, I'm just like, Bill's not getting it, dude. Bill's tweaking. And it was the first time I really saw Bill in action and understood, like, oh, this is why. Like, he just shuts down, right? Like, it's all he had to do was get up and literally strike a conversation, bro. Like, liquor's flowing, weed is flowing. It's not a hard environment, but it seemed like the drunker we got, the quieter he fucking got around them, right? And I was like, oh my God. So, at that point, the night goes on, and Bill is still just, like, kind of dead silent, right? I'm kind of chilling with Sally a little bit, and I'm doing a lot of Ciroc shots, and I kind of ask her, I'm like, hey, do you want to, really kind of keep up with me? Like, do you want to go hard on the Ciroc with me? She's like, oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I can handle my Ciroc. Now, I'm a bigger guy, right? Much bigger than this very thin girl, right? And we're doing these Ciroc shots, and she's downing them just as quick as me. And as soon as she downs those shots, I mention blow, and she's like, yeah, I want some Coke. So I hit up Coke Man, and I'm like, yo, dude, you good to come serve? He's like, hell yeah, dude, I got you. I'll be there in like 45. So the whole room lights up as soon as I announce the cocaine's on the way. Everyone's fucking lit. Everyone's excited. Bill's even talking, dude. Bill's a little coke fiend. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go crazy on this blow. he's hyping himself up again, dude. And I'm like, all right, maybe getting the coke in him will make him talk to these chicks, right? Like, maybe getting the coke in him will make him talk to Emma, dude. It could go well, right? So, Coke Man pulls up. At the same time that another homie pulls up, who we're gonna call Tim. I wasn't really very familiar with Tim. I think I've only met him like 2 or 3 times. He was one of Bill's closer friends, right? So, Tim pulls up. Important detail for later in the story. I dap up Tim. I say what up to him. Didn't really know him very well, but we knew each other on like a first name basis, So we're chatting a little bit. I mean, I kind of knew him, but like we weren't like tight, So we're chatting a little bit. Yada, yada, yada. Ain't no problem. And just having our dandy time. And we've got the Coke. And I'm kind of waiting to bust it out, right? I'm like, all right, let's get a couple more drinks going. Because Coke is like an alcohol cleanser, right? Like, Coke really does kind of take away from the effects of being drunk. So I want to make sure that we're not just, like, wasting the alcohol here, right? I want to make sure that we're kind of having a smooth night. And, of course, Sally is like, yo, do you have that Coke yet? And she keeps getting drunker. And the drunker she gets, the more she's nagging me about Coke. She's like, oh, let's do some Coke together. Like, come on, right? And I'm like, all right, like, hey, we'll get some cocaine going. Hey, white ladies love some cocaine, dude, all right? It's just facts. All pretty thin, early 20s white women love cocaine, dude. It's just it for them, dude. It's just it. You think it's Starbucks? That's cat, buddy. It's really cocaine. You just haven't investigated hard enough. But either way, so I bust out the blow finally, and I'm like, all right, let's get it going. And everyone in the room is down to do some except Emma, right? Most people in the room threw, right? I'm pretty sure, if I even remember correctly, I think Sally threw for her portion, right? Because she wanted some for herself too, right? So, we're busting out this blow. We're getting geeked. Everyone's getting lit. Sally does like 2 lines, and this was some extremely good shit. Like, this was straight rock. This blow was no fucking joke whatsoever. So we're all getting geeked as fuck. It's like I do my line, and it's immediately. It's like I snap my fingers and just drunk reset. Just like that. Hey, who was drunk? I don't know who drunk is, dude. Hey, that wasn't me. So, I'm doing my Coke. Sally's doing her Coke. Kevin's doing his, Bill's doing his, Sean's doing his. It's phenomenal. We're all having a good time. We're standing around Sean's kitchen counter because that was the best place in the apartment to do blow, right? And things are going good for, I'd say, maybe 20 minutes, right? We have probably 10 of those 20 minutes we're just straight doing Coke, right? So maybe 10 of those 20 minutes we're okay. Now, a very unexpected moment happens. Sally kind of like chokes almost and looks like she's about to puke. And then she stops, and it looks like she's all good. And mind you, to give you guys an idea of positioning right here, right? She's on the outside part of the counter, like outside of the kitchen, right? It was like a little bar counter where you could pull a stool up and like be at the counter in the kitchen, right? And whoever was in the kitchen could like serve you something, right? One of those kind of layouts. So she's on the outside part, not in the kitchen. Sean is standing in his kitchen next to his garbage can. Out of nowhere, Sally projectile vomits with the most force and aggression I think I've genuinely ever seen in a projectile vomit. Like, guys, it went straight up in the air. It was like one of those fountains, like the fish fountains where it shoots out the water and it goes up and then down. It shot straight up and almost Kobe'd directly into Sean's garbage bin. Like, there was a little bit on the counter, but like, dude, it was like a boomer in Left 4 Dead. It was almost like, it was impressive how aggressive it is. Like, it was like a fire hydrant, bro. Not like that, but like, dude, this shit came out with some force. I'd say more like a Nerf gun. Like, some force, dude. This was not a slow, this was an angry one, dude. Like, she'd been waiting to get this out of her gut, right? So as soon as that happens, she just kind of like is in shock, and Emma kind of grabs her and takes her to the bathroom. And we're all standing there in complete shock. And Sean's just like, yo, nice one, dude. And we're all geeking. And I felt bad because I know she was probably embarrassed about it. But, like, I think she realized that none of us gave a flying fuck, dude. Listen, I've smoked crack. None of us cared, dude. Vomiting is... Listen, we're doing like 4 drugs at once. If you don't vomit, you're probably not having a fun night, all right? Or you're just a crippling addict like me, right? One of the two options. I've vomited through that phase. There's no more puke left in my gullet. It's just drugs now. So either way, she's in the bathroom for a while, and we're kind of all like, oh shit. And I go in there. I help Sean kind of clean it up, right? I'm like, all right, dude, we got to get this off the counter, and we'll switch your garbage bag and whatever, you know? So we clean up, we take care of that, wipe down the counters and everything. And they're in the bathroom for, like, ever. But I figure, you know, there's no point in going and not, because she's got a friend in there, so they're fine. You know, there's one person who's not vomiting on themselves in the bathroom, so she's okay, right? So we're chilling in the living room. We're just kind of trying to drink a little more and do some more blow to kind of take our mind off the mental image of what just happened. But we're also kind of discussing it. Just a little bit. And now that the ladies are in the bathroom, it's the perfect opportunity for me to kind of touch base with Bill again. And I'm like, so Bill, we are now much further into the night. And once again, the only thing this chick knows about you is your name. So I'm going to ask you again, what is going on here? And Bill just goes, not my type, man. And that's not what he was saying earlier in the night. It's excuses. So I'm like, dude, listen, I really tried my hardest to help you out. Do you a solid here, Billy boy. I really tried my best to help you out, and you're not helping me, man. You're not making this easier, dude. I feel like her friend is like seventh wheeling really hard here. Like, you know, like, yeah, hey, dude, you gotta say something, dude. You know? Because, like, everyone else is getting interacted with, and then her friend is just, like, the odd one out. So I'm trying to encourage Bill. I'm like, dude, talk to her, bro. Like, do something, you know? And Bill never did. So, of course, Tim ends up talking to her, right? And eventually, they come out of the bathroom, right? They stay a little while longer. Tim's talking to her. And they get an Uber pretty quickly after this vomit incident occurred, right? I think they stayed for maybe another, like, 45 minutes, because I remember that we had actually ordered food, right? They were hungry, so we got some Wendy's. Because I figured that, hey, that would probably help Sally, like, not vomit so hard. So we ordered some Wendy's. So we got that. Hey, big ups delivery services, dude. That's all I'm going to say. But either way, we got some Wendy's, dude. Got it in their gullets. Everyone's drunk, coked up gullets. We're all good. I'm pretty sure I ate like 2 fries out of my 4 for 4 and then just slammed the drink and went back to doing blow. But like everyone else seemed to have a good, enjoyable meal experience, right? So they finally catch their Uber. And they're like, all right, thanks for having us. Peace out, right? And I'm like, well, she just vomited all over herself. So this ain't going to go well, right? And mind you, they stayed for the whole weekend. So this was not the only night that we got together, right? Like, this was just night one. And obviously, Sally learned her lesson about going through the Goblin Gauntlet, dude. She told me, she said, I want the experience. I said, do you want the Goblin experience? She said, yes. She learned the Goblin experience cannot be had, dude. Listen, it just cannot be had, man. So she went home. We all kind of kick it at Sean's for a while longer, just playing some zombies, smoking some blunts with the lads, dude. Having a wonderful evening doing some blow. And finally, the night wrapped up super fucking late. I'm pretty sure I was there that night until like 4:30 or 5 a.m. And the whole time I'm just giving Bill shit. I'm like, dude, why on earth did you not talk to her? Granted, there was more opportunities coming. We came to find out there wasn't, because I'm pretty sure it was either the next day or the day after that Tim ended up hooking up with Emma. So Bill was off the table, but I think Bill really had a chance, dude. I felt like Bill really had a strong chance, and he just blew it. And I tried my hardest to help him out, dude. And it didn't work. So, hey, hopefully one day we can get a formula that works for Bill. We'll get a playbook that works and we can run it. But until then, I guess we're just going to have to keep trying to wingman for him, dude. It's tough out there for a guy, dude. Hey, sometimes it can be tough out there. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this definite longer story. For sure on the longer end of my videos. Drop a like if you guys did. I will see you guys in tonight's late night live stream. Be sure to have your guys' notifications turned on for that. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace.